go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is August 2nd, and it is Wednesday, my dudes. Happy middle of the week. It's Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, the stock market, metals, the dollar, news, anything that's going on as we get ready to kickstart the day, as the United States stock market has just opened within the last minute. So we'll take a peek at everything that's going on. A little bit of a red day over here in the cryptocurrency market, but if you actually caught it, it was really red the whole day yesterday. And then right there in the final 2 hours of the day, the whole market flipped green. And off of the lows, Bitcoin actually popped up about $1,500 yesterday. So we'll take a look at all of that good stuff. But of course, as we get started here on a Wednesday, happy middle of the week, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday,
All right, let's get it going. Happy middle of the week, everybody. It's kind of like little mini break I'm having here between some of my vacation time. So I've been off. I was off Friday through Monday. Back yesterday, back today, and then I'm off again starting tomorrow. I'll be off, what is today, Wednesday? I'll be off Thursday through Monday. I'll be returning back on Tuesday, August 8th. Of course, you guys have all known about this. I've been posting this over there on Twitter and talking about it in live streams and YouTube videos. But let's go ahead and dive into the market and see what's going on. So yesterday, Bitcoin popped up about $1,500. We'll talk about this little structure happening in here. Not really super convinced that it's reversing just yet, but it does remind me of something. So I will show that to you. And at least does show that there is some buyer interest right here. And if not, at least buyer interest here, at least short closing interest happening right here. So even if we do dip lower, it likely isn't much more, but we'll talk about that here in this video. One thing that we are seeing, let's take a look over at the stock market really fast. What are we down? We're down 152 points in the Dow Jones. We're down 164 points over there in the NASDAQ. And we're down 34 points over there on the S&P. So down about 1% in the NASDAQ, 0.75% in the S&P, and 0.5% over there in the Dow. Sort these in order here. United Health still holding itself up this morning. Biggest losers down here are Roblox, ARK, and Ford and NVIDIA. Ones that are kind of holding themselves together, at least in the positive still, is United Health, and then GE, Caterpillar in the red, but slightly behind. Yesterday, the Fitch downgraded the U.S. long-term ratings to AA+ from AAA. So Fitch Ratings cut the United States long-term foreign currency issuers' default rating from AA+ to AA+ from AAA. The agency had placed the country's ratings on negative watch in May, citing the debt ceiling fight in Washington. The repeated debt limit, political standoffs, and last-minute resolutions have eroded confidence in fiscal management, Fitch says. U.S. stock futures opened lower Tuesday evening after the downgrade. So right when we saw futures open, the E-mini Dow Jones opened up. It opened down like 200 points. At one point, it was down about 300 points overnight. Shortly after this, as we know, we've gotten through all retracement levels. Has the Dow actually back tested? Debatable, but still, looking at what's happened here, nothing too huge emerging just as of yet. But the last time we had a credit downgrade was back in 2011. Way back over here. So everybody is, of course, pointing to that when we had something like that happen back in 2011. We'll see. But anyway, that's what showed up last night. However, crypto did not respond the same way the stock market responded to it. That actually happened about 2 hours prior to the daily candle closing for crypto, and crypto still went up regardless of that moment happening in there. So we'll talk about Bitcoin's structure happening in here. First thing first, we'll go through the typical stuff. Follow me over here on Twitter at BCBacker. It's the only social media that I do use. All other accounts are impersonators, especially ones that are DMing you and asking you to send any money to anything. I'm not actively going around DMing people saying, hey, how are you? That's not me. You're getting somebody who's an impersonator. Look for the blue check mark. Only on Twitter. No other social medias am I active on. I wrote a newsletter a couple of days ago. You can check that out at blockchainbacker.substack.com. The merch store is open per your request, you guys. This is out there and ready to rock. Just keep scrolling down, hit load more. You'll find more stuff in there. There's XRP stuff in there. And then there's blockchain backer stuff in there too. And of course, I'm sure all of your babies need blockchain backer merch. And all of your ladies need blockchain backer leggings. We got coffee mugs, all that good stuff in there. Then, of course, bcbacker.com. 40 videos, 11 hours of content. Check it all out. As for Bitcoin, let's talk about the structure that we have going on in here. And I've already started kind of recording a video, so you guys are going to get a little bit of you'll get a dose of whatever's going to be in that video here in Markets in the Morning. You guys typically do. So when we look back to how price has behaved just in this entire ride up that we've experienced in here, has anybody noticed anything similar about all three of these moments happening in here? And not even necessarily price action happening, but like actual things that are happening. And I have definitely noticed that every single time we get a bottom coming in, it's coupled with some type of really negative news. And I always talk about that too. Like if you're trying to follow the news wire and have that be the thing that tells you what's going to happen in the market, you are going to get hit with, get the arrow, FTX. Okay. Oh, I better sell because of FTX. You're going to get hit with banking crisis. Oh, I better sell because of a banking crisis. Boom. SEC sues Binance and Coinbase about altcoins. Oh, I better sell crypto. We're doomed, right? Each and every time these bottoms are coming in, they're marked with some type of negative, terrible news. Do we have any type of negative, terrible news right now? I would say no. So I wouldn't say that we have anything terrible. Now, is this downgrading of credit going to be anything at all? Is that some major surprise? I mean, they said they issued the warning and put it on watch back in May. Do I think the United States should be downgraded? Sure. This is silly that we go to the last minute. I mean, you had everybody worrying about buying treasuries because you didn't, and you had people not buying treasuries going past the debt ceiling date in a worry that they wouldn't pay, right? We saw the 1 month spiking out of control. Then we saw the 1 month tanking because people didn't want it to go through the debt ceiling date. It became a point where you couldn't even invest in treasuries because you didn't know what was going to happen. So for them to be downgraded, does that sound unreal? It sounds perfectly normal to me. I mean, it was ridiculous behavior that was happening in there. So I'm not so sure that's actually super negative news that's end up happening. Typically, we're getting kind of really negative news that keep marking each of these bottoms. So do you think we have that right now? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything too terrifying in the news happening currently right now. But definitely this structure that we've been working in here has certainly been more complicated than typical ones, right? This one, we practically predicted it for every green box and every reaction. For where this floor would come in here, to where this peak would come in, to where that floor would come in. We pretty much nailed that. Not pretty much, it was nailed over the course of April through June. This one is more complicated. This one's a little bit more difficult, and so I'm kind of having to roll with the punches on this one as it's coming out currently right now. But if I had to kind of guess, just if like we're in somewhat of a longer correction and it's not completed right now, what did we see? This is the biggest move that we've seen upward on Bitcoin actually since back near the peak, right? So there hasn't been any big price action pushing the price back up. We can just look back through all of these. It's been pretty tame. So suddenly buyers did show up in here. Now, was that just shorts closing? It's possible, which would mean that we aren't at the floor quite yet. So the things I'll be keeping an eye on over the course of the next few days is just to see if we really kind of maintain some strength holding up in here. Otherwise, the thing I actually do see is similar to what happened back, and they move these buttons around on me, back over here. That's really kind of what I'm actually seeing exhibited here in the price action currently right now. There's nothing too crazy bullish happening with what's happening right now. But this is kind of what happens when the shorts do close. And to kind of see this for those who were here for the last couple of months, right? What did we have? We had pretty much this same thing happen right in here, right? Then what do? We go on and we finally have, and then we're done and we're out of here. Currently, right now, that's looking likely to me. But the market will dictate it over the course of the next couple of days. So if we start drifting down again, we start getting back into the lower 29,000s again. This is just going to be my expectation. I'll go on vacation. I'll come back. We'll still be somewhere around in here. And then we're just going to kind of wait for, what is some type of negative news to come out, right? I think we're all, if you are an XRP holder and you're not sitting there waiting for the SEC to issue their appeal, they're going to. And if you're planning on panicking when that happens, you're not preparing yourself mentally for what's coming in this market. There's probably going to be an appeal. We don't know what it's going to be like. But, is that going to be the thing that scares the market? Maybe it is. But we definitely don't have anything like what we've had for each marking of each bottom lately, which has seemed like timed events or just events happening when they're supposed to, especially the SEC suing Coinbase and suing Binance. But, there's nothing really to be like that I can see to make panic happen in this market. I don't know, unless if somebody else has another. And you sitting there being like, I'm just tired of price action. I'm bored. And the fear is building up of a wall of worry. I'm talking like a serious news event to like scare people. I don't think we have one. I haven't seen one. So. Yeah, I think that just kind of keep in mindsets that maybe we might be somewhere around here, which would indicate we're getting close. We just haven't finished. So over the course of today and tomorrow, if prices do dip down to, I think we could just probably say 29,000. If we get all the way down to 29,000, it's likely exhibiting, this thing isn't done. There's still one more to go, and then we can start working our way back out. I do believe we're going to go in the next push up that we do have. We're going to cross through 32,000. I think that's where all this wall of worry is going to disappear. Just because I've been through these things before. This is, a disbelief rally. It's just like you see written in the descriptions and the psychology of bubble pops and bubble recoveries. This is the disbelief rally where nobody really believes it. Everybody's second guessing themselves. It's all concerning. And then after we get through that level, all that worry disappears and the excitement comes. And a lot of times in moves, like a lot of the biggest percentages that happen in a move do happen right there at the very end where everybody's really excited. Everybody's piling in. Everybody believes it all at the same time, but it's really kind of short-lived. I think that's what is coming next. And I think that the next move that we see is going to be just like what we keep seeing. Every time we shift our way up, it is a big move. But what do we do after these big moves? We just waddle, right? And we just waddle. And so anybody kind of looking for, hey, I just want to see it kind of trend and make my emotions feel good for a little while. That's not how this price action has been behaving. It consistently keeps being these corrections followed by 2 to 3 days of surging prices. And so it's just going to be patiently waiting for our next one. And we keep having to do the same thing. Wait several weeks, sometimes a couple of months, and then finally the next one shows up. And I think that's how it'll be this time as well. Nothing will be any different. But I do think the next time we get through one, the psychology of the market will change. And I talk about how important that is because the psychology of the retail crowd is always wrong. At the bottoms, at the peaks, they're always wrong. They wouldn't buy the bottom. They wanted 100K at the tops. When we get through here, you can't trust the excitement of the market. And I'm just kind of laying that groundwork of preparation for everyone after going through these things so many times. All the excitement returns, all the euphoria returns, all the narrative returns. You start seeing lots of posts that are talking about really high prices. And so then what do you see? You see 5, 6, 7,000 likes on these posts. And you think, wow, this person must really know what they're talking about because they're getting so many likes. But that it ends up being It's just people wanting those prices. It doesn't mean that person knows what they're talking about. So once we get through those prices, get ready. It likely is where the excitement comes. And my expectation is that when we get through there, it'll be another move like that. And there's a chance it's happening right here, that this is really kind of the initial pop off the bottom. The only reason I say that is because you see the 5 waves that come in here to finish this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's also, how you finish these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you break out and you start getting to go. But do notice we still have that kind of happening in here. Then you squeeze, right? So we short squeeze and then we finish it off. Is this the short squeeze to then finish it off? It's very possible. And if I'm going to make sense of this erratic price action up here, that would be really my best guess. And I think the thing that will tell me which way or another, if we go back to 29, I will be in belief that we're just sitting right here. It's time to finish this thing off over the next couple of weeks or the next week or two. And then get ready. The silly, confident bull returns again for the next leg up over here on this channel. But right now, it's a difficult read right here. And I would say that would be my best guess, is that we're still working our way down. If we do hit 29K, if it does hold here, looking good. But if you hit 29K, my thoughts are waddle, one more, and then we're done. One other thing, and this is recorded in the video. Let's do this. We've been talking about this, right? So we've been talking about how in these corrections, after we pulled out of our ABCs, in our past 2 examples that we've had in 2020 and 2021, we go back and touch that support first, right? You could see that Coinbase got very close to it. Bitstamp, there was actually one more kind of sell-off yesterday before things did reverse. They all got pretty close. All of them got down into the 28,500s. So let's go look at Bitstamp too. All right, Bitstamp, 28,586. What's the number we keep talking about? We've been talking about 28,500. When we go back and look at this one, which would be taken from back over here, you can actually see it does come up a little bit short. So it does come up not quite reaching. So, there's that too. But I think the thing is really just to kind of watch the current price action right now and see if it's going to hold and maintain this strength. If it dips to 29K, I'll be leaning more towards we're right here. We're trying to finish this thing off. And that the move that we just saw was something like this. And so a little bit more dipping happening in here, and that would be the end. But I think we've pretty much satisfied depth requirements for that pull. I mean, it's dang close, right? Dang close. So, okay. That was just kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin. I thought I would share those with you. I'll be watching it for the next couple of days. If it dips down to 29K, I'll be thinking we probably have that final leg to finish the whole thing. As for XRP, nothing to say. Again, what are we on? Day 8 now, I think. Day 8 of sitting at these lows. Nothing dramatic happening in here. Sitting at the lows of the entire range. Still holding. Yesterday, dip also popped up with Bitcoin in there. Still holding the floor. Not a lot going on there. We all know that we've bounced up into this range as we did back in 2017. All waiting to see, do we have to backtest the top of the range as the consolidation is taking place higher? Or are we just going to maintain that floor and keep going? Repeated that for 8 days and repeated that since day 1 of the breakout. But definitely been repeating for the last 8 days at these lower prices. I'm sure we're all sick of hearing it. We're just going to have to wait and see how things end up going. Now that the market has been open for the last 18 minutes, we see the Dow, slight recovery in there. Looks like NASDAQ further down it has gone. So the Dow is now down 0.4%. The S&P is down 0.77%. And the NASDAQ is down 1.28%. So about 200 points for the NASDAQ, 35 points for the S&P, 140 points there for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. A couple more have flipped into the green. We even have Coinbase that has flipped over here into the green. We can see losers of the morning so far: Roblox, ARK, and NVIDIA. Winners of the morning so far: Caterpillar, United Health, and GE, and Coinbase. Looking over at gold. Gold really not doing a lot this morning. It's up $2, up 0.11%. Nothing happening else for the remaining of metals. As for the DXY continues rising, still pointing, or at least starting to give more clues that maybe that is the bottom there at 99.5. We'll keep an eye on it as it goes. If it marches up higher and it, let's say, takes out the height over here in late May, I think it'd pretty much market pretty good. There's still chances of rollover here, but when we watched this all year long, while we were waiting for this, spent entire year of 2023 saying we're going to break down, we're going to get down to the 99 to 100 level. We'll see what happens at 99 to 100. Other things that we were able to do in here is definitely do the count, right? We had a typical crashing structure happening in here where 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls back up to wave 4 within wave 5, and pretty much waited all of 2023 to get 7 to come in, right? So we got 7 to come in. What typically happens if that is the bottom in reversal structures is that we pull our way back up, and then afterwards, things we talked about earlier in 2023 for Bitcoin, and what we did eventually see in the altcoin market is then you eventually see a drawn out ABC in there. But that then at one point, eventually once ABC is completed, boom, up and away it does go. So if we continue marching, if we continue getting up above, 104, 105, likely marks pretty confidently, that's the bottom of the DXY. But that we wouldn't leave this range still for quite some time. We may be there all of 2023 to the end till we get to near 2024. So it's still kind of be a ranging action for the remainder of 2023. And I think it's reasonable to think that that's possible. This is the count we had. 99 to 100 was the level that we were watching for all year long. We got it. It hit it right in the dead middle at 99.5, getting a pretty decent bounce. But that would be my thoughts. If we keep seeing the DXY go up, that would be the next thing I'd be looking for. And I would pretty confidently say, yep, that's probably it for the DXY. As for stock market news, Ford U.S. sales rose nearly 6% in July, but its EVs are still lagging. As we can see, Fitch downgrades U.S. long-term rating to AA plus from AAA. McDonald's private sector adds 324,000 jobs in July. That's not McDonald's, just the private sector, well above expectations. Looking over here at Bloomberg, again, headliner here is the credit downgrade that took place there for the United States. In my opinion, well-deserved. U.S. stocks futures drop as Fitch cuts credit ratings. U.S. companies add 324,000 jobs. BofA, Bank of America, joins a Fed in reversing recession call. Oh, we've reversed our recession call. I don't know. Like I said, even if we get the new all-time high, which it's looking like the odds are much better to get a new all-time high, considering we've gotten through all retracement levels. We're definitely getting into, time to start watching this thing to see weakness starting to emerge for it. Even if it gets the new all-time high, I've shown it 100 times. You got the 4.236 sitting right above it. That's really going to be my thoughts on the highest this thing can go, is that it can get to a 4.236, and then the thing does fall and it's lights out. All right, that's it for that news. I saw something interesting. Not here. Okay. China is reportedly Binance's largest market. I saw that Binance entered Japan yesterday as well. DeFi protocol Abracadabra wants to charge 200% interest on Curve founder's $18 million loan. So I guess there's something going on with Curve. I don't follow that coin. I don't follow that DeFi. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess there's something happening there. CRV. CRV gets plunge protection on Binance as market makers add bid-side liquidity. Very interesting. This one right here, where is it? Of course, why is the crypto market down today? The number one view of all of them. Here's what happened in crypto today. Why is Bitcoin's price down today? We always look for a narrative, don't we? We never look to the charts. We always look to the narrative. All right, this one is interesting. Let's take a look at this one. Ripple CEO slams SEC over the use of XRP report in lawsuit. I don't know what that is. Okay, Brad Garlinghouse stressed Ripple's unchanged commitment to Oh, let's try that again. Brad Garlinghouse stressed Ripple's unchanged commitment to transparency, but hinted that future reports might undergo some changes. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse on August 2nd expressed his disapproval of the United States Security and Exchange Commission for utilizing Ripple's quarterly XRP Markets report, designed to enhance transparency in the cryptocurrency industry as evidence against the company in the ongoing lawsuit. Garlinghouse stated that the company initiated the reports with the intention of voluntarily offering updates on its XRP holdings. However, the CEO said these reports were later used against the company in the SEC's lawsuit. Garlinghouse reiterated the company's commitment to transparency, but hinted the future reports might undergo some changes, in which Brad Garlinghouse tweeted, "We began these reports to voluntarily provide updates given our XRP holdings. Sadly, they were used against us in the SEC lawsuit. However, we remain steadfast in our commitment to transparency, but I suspect they'll be going to look a bit different moving forward," in which the Q2 of 2023 quarterly market report came out yesterday. As per the official announcement on July 31st, Ripple and the crypto platform solutions firm unveiled its Q2 2023 markets report. The report stands out from previous quarters as it centers around key highlights such as Judge Torres's significant summary judgment ruling, clarifying misconceptions, and shedding light on Ripple's XRP holdings. The report reveals that Ripple's XRP holdings surged from 5.5 billion to 5.55 billion, representing an increase of approximately 45 million. That's a surge? I don't know about that, but okay. Simultaneously, the total XRP on ledger escrow decreased by nearly 1 billion, which can be attributed to the rising demand. Okay. Rising demand for XRP. In addition to Ripple's CEO's criticism, XRP lawyer John Deaton also expressed strong disapproval of the SEC's use of these reports as evidence against the company and its executives in the ongoing lawsuit. He said that Ripple willingly publishes these reports on a quarterly basis, while other firms do not conceal token sales, but also deliberately disguise such transactions. And John Deaton has stated, "It absolutely is true that the SEC used the transparency of these reports against Ripple and its two executives. As a private company, Ripple was under no obligation to share this info. Other companies not only didn't share token sales, but intentionally disguised those." So, okay, I think we kind of get it. Quarterly reports will probably be a little bit more vague moving forward. The Curve liquidation poses systemic threat to DeFi, even as founder scurries to repay loans. We'll take a look at this because I keep seeing it all over Twitter. I'm not familiar with what it is. Curve liquidation risk poses systemic threat to DeFi, even as founder scurries to repay loans. A Curve Finance hack sparked a sharp sell-off, and while DeFi traders stepped in to support CRV, the possibility of a contagion-level event remains. On July 30th, Curve Finance, a decentralized exchange on Ethereum, suffered a hack due to a vulnerability in certain pools built using the Viper programming language. The price of Curve DAO CRV dropped 20.91% on the day of the hack, falling to a 2-month low of 58 cents. The next day, the decline in CRV continued to a 7-month low of 48 cents amid fears of liquidation of hefty loans worth $100 million taken by Curve Finance founder Michael Egorov against CRV as collateral. However, positive developments such as partial repayment of loans and significant negative bets in the derivatives market suggest that CRV may rally in the short term. The DeFi community comes to save CRV. On August 1st, Egorov sold 39.25 million CRV tokens for stablecoins to a number of notable decentralized finance investors like Justin Sun, Machi Big Brother, and DWF Labs for a total of $15.8 million, according to Look On-Chain data. Okay. Anyway, we're not going to go through this whole thing. But anyway, okay, there's something going on with... Where's like they were saying like contagion. Let's see if we can find that. Nothing. Okay. Interesting, though. Chinese police versus Web3. WorldCoin launch sparks debate over data privacy and future of AI. How to detect fake news with natural language processing. That's interesting. Hot stories. Why is the crypto market down today? Here's what happened today. Why is Bitcoin price down today? Crypto market loses 486 million in July, most since 2022 report. Most since 2022. Wait a minute. We're a 1.15 yeah, we went from like 1.15 trillion to 1.14 trillion. That's like not the most ever. What is it, like the worst July? That can't even be the worst July. We've definitely had worse Julys than that. I'm calling baloney. According to the report, nearly half of the month's losses were caused by the multi-chain exploit. Okay. Oh, funds lost. Oh, okay. Funds that got lost. Not actually like loses. Okay. Judge rejects motion to dismiss Terraform case, disagrees with Ripple decision. So I saw something interesting because this is, of course, Bitcoin maxis have just been going to town, sucking on the teat of this thing, loving life, that a judge in the same district as Judge Torres will not be using her. Where can I find it? I don't want to play the audio clip of it. What do I do? The judge. So here, we'll take a look. Let's take a look at it. Judge Jed Rakoff gave a detailed interpretation of the Howey test that was at odds with the decision in the Security and Exchange's case against Ripple. First of all, this doesn't impact Ripple or XRP in any way, but it may make it more difficult for other coins to get across the threshold. What I saw, and let me see, likes. Maybe I should just, can I find him and retweet that? I know I liked him. I know I liked what he said. There we go. Meta Law Man. Where's your tweet, dude? Okay. There's a guy named, here we go. Let's see here. Okay, this guy right here, Meta Law Man, he says, yesterday, Judge Rakoff disagreed with Judge Torres' Ripple decision. This is not a surprise. 7 months ago, I identified Rakoff by name as the judge most eager to disagree with a fellow judge from the same court. Watch this via digital perspectives. I don't want to play this, but if you go check out this Meta Law Man, here's what I'll do. I'll retweet this too. Go check out this that he did right here. It's on my Twitter. He literally calls this out, that if this particular judge, and he says it's 7 months before the ruling, always likes to go against any other rulings of any other judges within his district. So the behavior that he's exhibiting is exactly in line with what he always does. So if anybody is thinking something, oh no, is happening, he was literally called out that this is exactly what he does. And this was 7 months before the ruling ever came out. So yeah, anyway, it doesn't change anything, at least not for XRP. Maybe for other coins trying to get across the finish line, if anything happens from that. But otherwise, whatever. Just a nice FUD piece from Bitcoiners. And look, I'll be real. If Ripple has to pay more in any type of settlements with the SEC, I mean, that's just what Ripple's going to have to do. It doesn't bother me. The thing that mattered to me was that XRP would get declared not a security, and that it would get across the finish line. If Ripple has to pay some type of penalties, then that's just life, man. You know, that's their deal. I don't care. You know. All right. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else we need to cover today? We've already covered it. in regards to Bitcoin's current price action. We've talked about this, the similarities of just kind of, we're progressively, hopefully in a structure that's getting near where we would want to be. Oh my gosh, come on. Seems like it's really acting like that this morning. So if we see $29,000, I'd probably think we still have at least another week in here before we can work our way out. But this was more of our shorts closing. They're saying, all right, we're done with this. And then now moving into accumulation. So this has been one of the more complicated structures happening in here, but I think we actually may have just kind of got a little golden nugget there with the price action yesterday. I covered that way more in depth at the beginning of the stream. Now at 35 minutes of rambling in here, not even addressing the chat yet. So that's up with Bitcoin, XRP. 8 days, 8 days of sitting at the lows, waiting to see what we're going to happen down here at the lows. Stock market, rough day after the credit downgrade that happened over there by Fitch, as the United States credit has been downgraded from AAA to AA plus. You know, makes sense to me. I totally think they deserve it. We're tired of this nonsense happening over there where they wait to the last minute. They even messed with the treasury market this time around by making things so uncertain. And even with me, I had to sit there and actively make decisions on whether or not I was going to maintain treasury holdings through that. And I had to stop, get my money away from them to let them get through their little thing. And that was frustrating. They deserve it. For sure. All right. As for gold, slight down. DXY up. We've covered DXY. Stocks mixed over there. Mostly red this morning. Biggest losers of the morning: Roblox, ARK, and Nvidia. Biggest winners of the day. The only winners on the list, at least: Caterpillar, United Health, and GE. Otherwise, Bitcoin likely nearing the end of this, but may have a little bit of time to go. If we see 29K, that'll be my thoughts. And I'll probably reiterate that on Twitter before I head out. As you guys should know, today is going to be the last day before I hit vacations again. This should be no surprise. Announced that I'd be off 28th through the 31st of July and then off the 3rd through the 7th of August. But as of August 8th, we'll be right back into the swing of things. But okay, it's time to get my suntan on, man. I stayed way too pale this summer. Way too pale. All right. Andy Billpot, right out the gates, man. First one, 1 minute into it. Thank you, Andy. Gifted 5. And then a minute later, Pat. Thank you, Pat. Blockchain Lurker followed it up, too. You guys were nuts. Right out the gates. Thank you very much. Ryan. Oscar Hernandez says, don't forget to hit the like button. That's right. Here we are 35 minutes into this with 577 likes. If you guys could hit the like button, that's the number one way to support the channel. And it's the number one way to appreciate Wednesdays.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday. Dudes.
Let's go. But hold on. That's not acceptable. All right, I don't know what this is going to be like. Are we ready? Oops.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Okay, enough. That's it, BCB. This is seriousness. Okay, well, look at that. We're getting the pullback in Bitcoin. I would say it's starting to still 29,000. It's really looking like I need to get a lot of this off the screen just to make it easier to see. It's way too much here. We're nearing the end of all of it. Oh my gosh, it's doing the same thing. This is what it did to me last week, where we're just like not reacting here. You can see my thing's getting stuck, right? I don't know. Okay, whatever. We're probably done charting. Just gonna have to get through the super chats, but this thing's not gonna let me write on it. Thank you, Oscar. AAA crypto, when sell, you set post only or allow taker order. What? Well, I mean, it just depends. I mean, 90% of the time I'm setting limit orders, right? Because I'm gonna pay a smaller fee on a limit order. But I mean, there's sometimes where I'll do a market order, but most of the time it's a limit. And because there's two reasons why I like doing a limit. One, I'm very good about paying my taxes. I'm very good about reporting my taxes, and I've spent enough time with my accountant to have to sit there and do average pricing of a sale. When you sell something and it's got, a couple thousand of a token being sold, and then there are all these different little prices, and you're having to come up with what was the average, cost of that purchase and what was the average sell of that purchase. With a market order, you're then having to do multiple entries and transactions to try to find that average. However, with a limit order, like you just have your date, you have your time, all of them were for the exact same price. You didn't have to run up the order book or run down the order book to fill that. So not only do I pay a less fee by doing a limit order, but it also makes it a lot easier on my taxes when I'm going back and reviewing everything, that it's all just one price and it doesn't require a ton of different stuff. So that's for me, the benefit of the limit. JJ Melch, new member, welcome, thank you. Oscar gifted 5, my brother, thank you, dude. JB Heavy Equipment Services says, do you have photographic memory, or are you just so OCD you notice patterns easily? By the way, DXY is at resistance. I'm trying not to be biased, though. Did it get through your resistance? I don't know. The thing, just having to think about that is crashing structure, right? So the whole reason why we definitely thought we would need to break down that 2023 low was for that. So now we could be working our way back up in the DXY. I wouldn't be surprised. But as for noticing patterns, I think it's kind of just one of those things that so much of my time is spent doing it, and that you get into points where things don't register. Like in a moment like this, let's take everything off the screen like this. Replay. Like when you're in something like this, it just doesn't register very clearly. And so that's kind of been how Bitcoin is. You don't have anything registering very clearly in a moment like this right here. But then once you get to right here, things start adding up a little bit better. So it's not always just going to be noticeable at any point of any time. And I assume a lot of people want that, but that's just not how it is. Sometimes there has to be more information on the screen for it to make any sense. And right here, recognizing, hey, this is the crashing structure, not until we get to wave 4 within wave 5 till we say, very clear now. Expect one more low. We'll see what it does from there. 99 to 100, and then boom. And so it has bounced off of there pretty aggressive. If it keeps going, especially if it gets above 103.5, I mean, every little level, especially just the first level, already massively increases the odds. That's the bottom, right? And then if we get above that one, I don't know how you argue otherwise. The only thing is, just because it comes off the bottom doesn't mean it's not going to have a long time ahead of it and through the remainder of the year pulling back. But still, even that pullback is likely pointing to eventually it's going to shoot back up. At that point, wondering what will come of it, right? Will it only be a retracement, right? Getting back to the breakdown levels. See, that just so happens to be it. So I would say pretty good. Odds are going more and more favorable that is the low for the DXY for now. But it doesn't mean we go now. It just means we're off the low. And that it would be consolidating before finally getting back to retracements. Then it's at that point, well, what comes from there, right? Does this thing just go, we go in Great Depression? Or is this the first leg if this was like A, B, C, or was this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to go way deeper. And that's the bigger, grander scale of things. But yeah, there we go. We watched this through all of 2023. They got to the level that we're looking at. Things are looking pretty bouncy so far. But as for noticing patterns, it's probably just I spend so much time in here. And the thing I always try to teach too is that you can look at 100,000 charts, but a lot of them are going to behave differently. And the best way to do it is to live and breathe within a few, and then just like master those particular ones, because they're going to have different market makers on them, different market participants, right? And so all of them are going to act differently. But when you spend a lot of time in one, you will certainly see things repeat or be very close to repeating if you spend a lot of time living and breathing in those charts. So trying to become the master of 300 charts, good luck. What is the term? Like a tradesman of all but a master of none, or something like that, right? Living and breathing in certain ones and recognizing similar structures occurring is pretty important. So that's really it. Just a lot of time, my brother. JJ Jacob says, are you going to nibble on alts when the bad news occurs? Could you look at multiverse crashing structure? Love your course. I'm almost finished. Awesome. Member 2 months. Thank you, JJ. What is multiverse? Is it like EGLD? Is that what it is? I don't know. Is that what that is? EGLD? What is it? Maybe it's not multiverse. X? It is EGLD. Look at me. So this is like gaming, right? Or no? I see. Look at this, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to chart anymore. I can't grab anything. Notice how my cursor is getting stuck. Let me go to a different chart. Sorry, guys. It's nerve-wracking when that happens. Let me go to a different chart. Okay, this one works. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just that browser on that one particular one. EGLD, USD, and T. Okay, are you going to work now? There we go. So I don't know the supply dynamics of this thing, but it's just like the rest of the market, right? Like this was the spring phase happening in here. So hopefully, but I don't know much about this thing. Now I did see on developer report that this particular, whatever it is, does have development activity on it, but I know literally nothing else about it. So outside of seeing a chart that looks like that, I don't know much more to say. For newcomers into this market, you may be thinking, "Oh, it's dead." Okay, if you think so. That was Cardano. That was ADA. It doesn't mean it's dead. It's just market conditions. So I would check and see just, what all is going on in there. What are the supply dynamics? Man, I might have... I don't have it open. I don't have any of my Excel sheets open right now. Sorry. I think I ran the supply on there, but I don't know. You could figure that out because you were taught that in the course, how to get that. So just check the supply dynamics. It looks like it has developer activity. As long as supply dynamics aren't completely out of whack, then probably okay. So long as the market is okay. But as for nibbling, it's unlikely. I've already done. I did all my buying at lower pricing. I bought a lot during the FTX collapse. That was when I made my biggest buys. I didn't make any buys during the banking crisis because I was out of country, and I did make buys during here, right? But as for now, there's no point in me adding more capital into this market. I so much into this market. I'm trying to think, like maybe like 25% of my net worth is in crypto, right? So I'm in it. I'm in it. But I might make some rotational plays. I've talked about that with Bitcoin. That when if XRP BTC pulls back to that 200 week moving average, I'm gonna take the shot at it. I'm gonna likely flip some Bitcoin into XRP right there, and definitely publicly announce that on Twitter, and just be like, I've lost all faith in Bitcoin. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. I'm not tribalistic, but there's no question. It's super annoying to watch these compulsive liars of the Bitcoin maximalist group just create whatever they want. They spin narratives in such BS ways. It's totally frustrating. When I got into crypto, man, I was all about Bitcoin, and man, like I got it. It was great. Still understood it going into the 2021 bull run. But when we got to the peak and how much that narrative changed and what the people like it changed. I mean, some of the people, they've always been like this, that Bitcoin toxic kind of maximalist toxicity that's always been there. And they've always been like that towards XRP. For those who are new, who think them attempting to say they're going to be an appeal, it's going to get overruled. Oh, told you, Bitcoin, volcano energy. That is nothing new. They are always going to do that. They've always done it. But the true messaging of what Bitcoin is lost. It's game over. It's all about, El Salvador adopting. SEC, step in and help us. What Bitcoin used to be was FU money. No, not anymore at all. It is all about just greed. It is all about number go up. It has literally nothing to do with about using it for payments. It is just number go up. It means literally nothing else anymore. So I've lost all faith of the potential of what Bitcoin could be. And that's just by watching the culture of it and the use of it. So they shot themselves in the foot really good. So I have zero problem letting go of my Bitcoin to swap it for XRP when the technical opportunity comes. And I will only take that technical opportunity if we do get the pullback down to the 200-week moving average. So Marcin Lewandowski says, bull run, but when? When? Marcin, we keep telling you, if you sell all of your crypto, that is when. Literally, thousands upon thousands of people are waiting for you to sell, and you just won't do it. And once you sell, it'll go to the moon for us. So what are you waiting for, buddy? Digital Dunce, my dude, says, BCB, happy Friday, bro. Could you elaborate on your thoughts and feelings? Does the narrative writes the charts or the charts writes the narrative? It feels like the charts write the narrative. That's what it feels like. Because that's what I mean. How else could we interpret it, right? How else could charts kind of line up to have things occur and then the events occur to go to the technical levels, right? So that's my thoughts. The charts write the story first, which is why that narrative, show me a chart and I'll tell you the news. Crypto UPSer, maybe? Crypto UPSer gifted 10 blockchain backer memberships. Thank you very much. Hey, did we ever get our update on the UPS stuff? It fell out of the news narrative of the limelight, but I think they resolved their issues, right? That's what I was told. Biggest raise in history, something like that. Ooh, Oscar Hernandez's favorite waitress is in the chat. Thank you, crypto UPSer. Your friendly NP. With all this space talk, do you think we will ever reach Europe? If so, when? What? Oh, Europa? Oh, I'm not familiar with what Europa is. That must be a planet or a solar system or something. Unfortunately, I'm not against being that nerdy about that type of stuff, but I'm not nerdy enough to know that. But power to the people who do. I mean, the reality is we're all stuck in our little world of what's in our field of vision and their little events that go on in our lives. But the reality is the universe is gigantic. There's a whole lot going on out there. That's where we should all really be casting our eyes and attention, right? So good for you, but I don't know. Baby Oscar Hernandez makes an appearance, says, told me nursery friends to buy XRP. Need baby moon. There we go. Baby Oscar Hernandez, thank you for making an appearance. I hope Whiskey 2 is doing okay out there. We haven't heard from Whiskey in a while. I know he had some stuff going on, but hopefully he's all right. Have our calendar says, hey, BCB, speaking of Cardano, you still bullish on it? You think it will see a new all-time high once we finally go? I don't know if it'll see a new all-time high, but I would expect a retrace at a minimum. I haven't been... In the last couple of weeks, it's really just been XRP centered, right? I haven't been venturing too much. And of course, I'm like on this little 2-day vacation from my vacations right now. So it's been a little while since I've peeked closely at Cardano. I'll need to follow it. I'll need to see what's going on. I know developer data in the last 3 months kind of slightly dipped on them, but they were okay prior to that. And I think their year-over-year numbers are okay. But of course, they were one of the ones that got attacked by the SEC and the Coinbase filings. Coinbase did not do anything about it. They said, hey, you can shove it. And as we even saw with the XRP filings and the XRP summary judgment, that the token itself is not the security. So I'm not too worried about it from that front. But I don't know. I need to check and see how things are going with in regards to total value locked and how things are going on the ADA system. But it's been a little while. So I don't know. I need to take a chance. I need to take a peek at it. But I still have quite a bit of it. It's definitely in my top 10 holdings. So we'll see. All right, what are we at? We're at 56 minutes. Let's take one more peek throughout the market and see how we're doing. We see XRP still sitting at 69 cents. Remains unchanged throughout here. I don't know how we ended up getting on OP. I guess we were just kind of jumping around in here. Bitcoin, likely nearing the end of this move, but they're... Oh my gosh, this thing is so annoying. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. All right, guys, we're going to have to leave this page. Do you want to work? Okay. Kind of understanding how deep we are in here, it seems more likely that we've just had ourselves one of these bad boys happening in here. Still some more waddling to happen in here. Things that we haven't seen happen yet, which have marked all 3 bottoms in here, have been big, fat, negative news narratives coming in. Every single one of them has marked that. That's been the marking of the bottom, something to scare retail investors out, those who are trading or investing based on the news flow, which is why when you go to CoinDesk, hot stories, why is crypto market today? Here's what happened in crypto today, and why is the Bitcoin price down today? Most people pay attention to whatever the news flow is, and they're making all of their decisions based on the news flow rather than looking at the chart. So they're always going to get strung in at the top. They're always going to get pushed out at the bottom, those particular people. But what we do know is those who are looking for a negative reason to sell, and we have to understand why people do sell, is that they get worn out. The market knows how to beat you up as long as it can, whether that's from price drawdowns or if it's from time. The market tries to beat you up and chew you up and then finally hit you with something that breaks you at the end. And that's exactly what we keep having. We keep having something come in to break market participants at the end. And we haven't had that here, and I'm not certain we will have that, but I do know we've had it the last 3 times. So I'm not going to hang my hat that we have to have some type of narrative come in. Things that we could probably look forward to that are probably going to happen is we're probably going to see the appeal from the SEC for Ripple to try to go after them on some stuff. Otherwise, these have been surprises, right? All of these, right, have all been surprises that the market couldn't price in, right? FTX couldn't price that in. Banking scares couldn't price that in. The market tried to price that in right when it could. And then the SEC surprising. These were all unpredictable events. None of them the market was prepared for or ready for or was circulating around as a narrative prior to them happening. So will we have that? Don't know. But what I say, price action is behaving similar to like, we're getting near the end, but we're not quite there. I would say that that's kind of how we're acting in here. I think that move down that we've just seen kind of recently kind of solidifies my thoughts on it. More of a short squeeze happening in here. Maybe initial longing that's happening in here and accumulating happening in here. But a little bit more to go. Get through the final couple of weeks of summer. Let's send this puppy off into the fall. Big Shroom says, Team Sideways is winning. Yes. Why? Why is there always team up and why is there always team down, but there's never anybody who's team sideways? Why can't we be team sideways? Yeah, it's because nobody wins in a sideways environment. It's the one thing no one ever wants to hear. So definitely not the thing you want to come on here and point to. But team sideways. Wick 589. What a zinger. Team sideways is just a bunch of crabby people, from what I hear. I get it. Texas Takeover. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Aussie, oi, oi. All right, so I was, I'm still debating on whether or not to get a video out today. I don't like repeating myself too much. I know you guys don't really like it too much either. So we'll see. It's just like what we're talking about right here. Team sideways. But we'll see. I'm considering it. I recorded like 6 minutes of a video pretty much talking about Bitcoin. Maybe I'll release it just to have it out there. But otherwise with the market, there's not a whole lot to say that's different than what we've been talking about. You got XRP at the bottom end of the range. You got Bitcoin crabbing along sideways after getting a $1,500 rebound yesterday. But that's what it is. So stock market, DXY still continuing. Gold down. How's the stock market doing? Stock market taking a little bit of a red day today. Down 200 points over there for the Dow. Down 270 points for the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Still above all retracement levels, but down 264 today. S&P down 44, threatening that retracement level right there. Let's get that set up right there. There you go. Roblox, ARK, NVIDIA at the bottom, Caterpillar at the top. Now the only green one on the list. So, all right. That'll be it, guys. I'm going to be off for 5 days. I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer. We'll get through the remainder of the summer. Pretty much when we get out of here, it's going to be all about preparing to head into the fall time. And so the fall historically is usually better in crypto than the summer is. While it's nice to get away and touch grass and get outside and do stuff for the summer, typically crypto markets are pretty boring during the summer. I think we've even kind of had that. Let's see. We always talked about that, like the cruel summer, right? And how long these things could last. Here is May, June, and July. Where are we at right now? We are right back at where we were at the beginning of May. So little up, little down, little up, little back, right where we were at the beginning of May. So, but nearing the end of it, we're now getting into August. And as you guys know, once we get there into September, we're really there into the fall. We're out of the cruel summer entirely. So some opportunity things right in there. We saw Bitcoin try to push back up. We definitely saw Bitcoin Cash get out. Of course, as we all know, it was not a cruel summer for XRP. Probably the best summer we've had in a long time. So it was nice to see that happen over there on XRP. Otherwise, we're almost there at the end, guys. I'm going to enjoy a few days off with my family and enjoy some time to get refreshed mentally as we get ready to head into the rest of the year, of course, and continue that grind on that we do. I want to thank you all for all of your support. I want to thank you so much for tuning into the channel like you always do and hanging out here with me at Markets in the Morning. Hard to express my gratitude. So, you know, me taking a few days off is in no way taking a vacation from you guys. It's me just refreshing my brain and just starting it all over again in my head and enjoying some time with my family. Derek says, good morning, BCB. Happy Wednesday. Smash the likes. Thank you, Derek. One of the most positive guys in crypto. So thank you all so much, you guys. I will miss you, and I will catch you all in Markets in the Morning on Tuesday, August 8th. And on that note, we'll wrap this thing up. So if you're looking for something to do during that time, of course, you can catch a bunch of fresh content from me that I've recorded this year over there on bcbacker.com. Otherwise, have a nice week, everybody. All right, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back.
It is Wednesday, my
Have a good one.